think I got my swagger back. Oh!
Are Christian McCaffrey and Anthony Davis's careers over? Evening, random Wednesday, whenever this video finds you, and appreciate you for joining me. And I know I've clickbaited you in here. I've said terrible things. I'm telling you that CMC, the great Christian McCaffrey, should retire, and Anthony Davis should follow suit. Now, what am I talking about? Before y'all flame me on Twitter, before y'all go into the comment section and hit all the downvotes, can y'all listen? Can you chill out for a second? Can we talk like human beings here? Just because I'm saying silly things doesn't mean I don't have two legs to stand on. I got you, man. Talk to me, work with me, follow me on this journey. What we're about to get into is the comparison between these two individuals, and maybe it's once I break it down, you can stop your Twitter thread on why they're the most greatest generational athletes in this. Now, I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is Christian McCaffrey and Anthony Davis are having extremely similar careers, not only in terms of where they're drafted, how they're drafted, their talent-wise, and what their bodies are going through. Let's get into it. Here are we ready? I don't think you're ready though, because when we get ready, it's netty. And please be careful, because not careful, but be patient, because I'm not a graphic designer, right? I don't have these cool fancy logos and awesome slides. Like, man, throw Google Slide together, get my mind out, right? First thing, why are they so similar? Let's start off with some respect. Both Anthony Davis and Christian McCaffrey are generational talents, all generational talents, right? Christian McCaffrey is one of the most complete running backs we've ever seen, coming out of not just high school, not just college, being a two-time Heisman finalist, but also in the NFL, being able to catch the ball, have some of the best routes. Routes better than better than most receivers. Unless you're an elite receiver, you're not having better route running than CMC. Great hands, usually great durability, and amazing versatility on the offensive side of the ball. And of course, back in high school, you got a little loose on defense too. Anthony Davis in that same regard. Anthony Davis coming out of, I believe it's Duke. I'm sorry, I apologize. Wherever the brow came from. I'm not a basketball guy. It's not a basketball challenge. I know him as the unibrow wonder that saved the Pelicans. Well, attempted to save the Pelicans. Anthony Davis, the 6'10" point forward, power forward. I said point forward. Lord have mercy. The 6'10" power forward. It was an all-generational defensive phenom in his college career. I believe he broke the record for most blocks in a single season. So, an elite defensive player, being able to also stretch the floor, come out, shoot a nice bit of threes and jumpers, and also handle the ball well. He was always known to be a guy, and obviously through his career, as a top 10, sometimes top 5 NBA player. But when we get into it, there's another thing that both these guys have a little more in common, because we're talking about them being great talents, and with being such a great talent and being so amazing, something happens to you, especially as an athlete going into the professional space, right? You become a very low draft pick, a lottery draft pick in the NBA's case, but a first round draft pick in the NFL's case. Both of these guys were. They were faces of, basically youngish franchises, right? You got the Charlotte Hornets / Pelicans / Bobcats / with these NBA teams slipping and whipping in, like the whole Bobcats and here and there, and the Pelicans, and I think they were the Hornets, or whatever they are, whatever animal they decide to go down there in New Orleans. I think the Pelicans is what they're keeping with down in Smoothie King Arena, as Stephen A. likes to point out. They were both seen as saviors for these franchises. Not just people that are going to come in and be great role players or a good running back and someone that's going to be a part of the team. No, these were guys that were going to teams that were just coming out of some struggles, right? The Carolina Panthers coming down from the Super Bowl loss and trying to put things back together, trying to figure out their quarterback situation and their defensive situation. I think they were in a rebuild. They were in a rebuilding stage before they even knew it. So, and of course, the Pelicans have yet to finish their rebuild. They were both guys with immense level of pressure. It got placed upon them, right? With these high draft picks and all these expectations. Surprisingly, both of these guys also, for the most part, kind of fulfilled those expectations. You can't really say that Anthony Davis's campaign and Christian McCaffrey, what we've seen, is anything short of better than what we expected. Anthony Davis is Defensive Player of the Year, perennial MVP candidate, finisher, perennial NBA All-Star, All-NBA, All-Defensive Team. Christian McCaffrey had one of the greatest rookie campaigns that we've seen from a running back in a long time. I don't think he's broke, but he's close. He's getting very close. If he can get a full season together, I think he's going to be the best candidate to break the all-purpose yards in a single season record as well. But we see what he is. He can run between the tackles. He can run outside the tackles. He can run amazing routes. These guys are generational talents that are faces of franchises that are trying to steer themselves in the right direction, right? With that comes like I said, all that pressure. Now, you live up to it, right? You can live up to as much pressure as you want, and you can show up as much pressure you want, but if you're going to be a bright star, right, and you're required so much energy of you to even compete, right, to even be able to compete for the Panthers' sake and for, at the time, for the Pelicans' sake, right, the level of effort that you have to put on your body to even give these guys a winning chance, it wears on people, especially, I know we're talking about amazing advanced athletes, but they're doing amazing and advanced things. They're still putting their bodies to the limits, and this is the real question, right? Because as I was thinking about this and I was going through how similar they are and the different things and, the same types of franchises and, I think pretty similar level. Anthony Davis was considered probably the best point forward anytime he's healthy, and Christian McCaffrey is considered the best running back in NFL when he's considered healthy. I thought all these comparisons were great, and then when I got to this ending, right? Are they overworked or injury prone? I think an NBA fan, depending on if they're a Laker fan or not, they'll tell you that Anthony Davis is injury prone, but is it that simple? Is it or is it more of a gradual thing that happens, like we might be seeing with Christian McCaffrey, who is known for his durability in his early career, right? But now we're seeing an injury and then right back injury, week 3 with limited snaps, where they've been trying to limit his snaps, right? Because of how they treated him early in his career. Because Anthony Davis had to do so much backpacking, maybe that might be the cause of his injuries, and not just him being an injury-prone person in general. Possibly. Let's look at it. Let's look at these the injuries, right? Now, I'm not reading all this. Anthony Davis's injury history in the NBA is extensive, and not only because he's considered injury-prone, but also because he's had more seasons in the NBA. He's going into, I believe, his 10th season. Christian McCaffrey's going into, I believe, his 6th or 7th season in the NFL. Or I believe 5th. I could be wrong. It's not important. We're talking about similarities here. The years don't matter. You can roast me in the comments for the years and not knowing those and having those on the back of my head. Sure. Have a field day. I shall enjoy it. But as you can see, one thing I just want to point out here, I probably should have made this not teal, but something that didn't. Oh, I exposed the, anyway. Right here, right? Going into January 2013. Fractured left hand. Okay. Dislocated finger left hand. That's a year apart. Normal. 82 game series. NBA season is pretty grueling. I don't think most NFL fans are going to recognize how grueling an 82 game series is, especially if you're a star in the league trying to backpack for a almost barely under mediocre team in the Pelicans. So fractured left hand, same left hand, but dislocated finger. Nothing major here, right? Just January, couple months, sprained ankle, nothing serious. But almost March to March, right? March to April, another back spasm. It's not good to see, but still we have pretty good spacing here. But once we start getting into this third year, right? Third, fourth year, you start seeing 2016, May, October, November, December. I mean, it gets to a point where at one point he is considered decently durable. He doesn't even start having multiple injuries, even serious injuries. I mean, sprained ankle, hip strains. We're talking about pains, back injuries. We're not talking about any major serious injuries, but when we get into multiple bruised hips, when we get to multiple calf strains and multiple knee pains, Achilles tendons and things like that, and of course groin strains, things that really took him out for serious time. These things start just stacking on top of each other, right? So keep that in mind. The picture I painted to you, right? A guy with all this pressure coming in, it's a struggling franchise, starts pretty durable. Doesn't really have any major injuries. Nothing that sidelines him for a crazy amount of time, right? CMC doesn't have a real major injury until really 2020, man. Now, he dealt with some things here and there. It's like I said, undisclosed, yada yada yada. It's silliness here and there, and we haven't even really seen the full, because we can put that lot on his load count, right? But we have an undisclosed injury. Well, that's a scratch. Like I said, that's a yada yada yada. But no real injuries until his third season, the high ankle sprain. Now, that high ankle sprain was then followed by a shoulder sprain. This was, Christian McCaffrey coming off 2 amazing years and just being fed the ball and being just the best guy, clearly, on that Carolina offense, without a doubt. But now we see 3 injuries in 2020, right? So this durable and yada yada yada, this idea of durability can go away pretty quick when you have, in 1 year, 3 back-to-back injuries. In the case for NFL, in the NBA, like I said, the longer season, the way Anthony Davis injuries were, they didn't start stacking up until he got, it's a non-contact. Come on, it's a non-contact sport. It's gonna be a little different. You're expected to get injuries in football, so you don't even start getting those real injuries until they start stacking, right? Same thing. The starting pattern, at least just the starting pattern that we're seeing out of old CMC here. You got a triple up of injuries that kept him sidelined for the better part of 2020 and out of the lineup. And now we're in 2021. We're back-to-back weeks. And look, it's cramps. He only missed 1 series. It's not a big deal. But to put that in context, coming into this week 3, it was already said that Matt Rule was limiting his carries. And Christian McCaffrey wasn't too happy about that either, of course, because, you're one of the best players on the field at all times. Of course, you don't want yourself to be limited. You want to be able to get out there and really help your team. But we go from cramps to then a hamstring strain, which is looking like, I believe, a hamstring pull. It's going to be sidelining him for at least 3 weeks because he's on the IR. But, good thing with the new IR systems, because of the COVID stuff, he can come back a lot easier. So hopefully it's just 3 weeks, not 4 weeks. It's usually 4 to 5 weeks when you talk about hamstring problems. But same area where he had the cramps in. This is back-to-back weeks or back-to-back years, and we have multiple injuries. Maybe I'm jumping off the boat, or maybe I'm just trying to get in front of the train. I think that's really what it is. This whole video is not me completely declaring that Christian McCaffrey's career is over, that Anthony Davis' career is over. All I'm saying is that we shouldn't call these guys simply injury prone, especially because I think this narrative is being built with Christian McCaffrey very quickly now, that he is an injury prone person, when for a running back, when you have your first 3 years being almost untouched, that's hard to really call him injury prone, especially at the running back position where most injuries really do happen and really occur, and you get so much contact like that. So that's all. And I want to hopefully, for my basketball fans that bleed into this, tell you guys that, hey, let's not declare Anthony Davis just someone that's injury prone? Why can't we look at his career in context and look at maybe he did need to rest that year? Maybe he is a little overworked. Maybe some load management needs to be applied to him coming into his 10th year, where he's had some serious injuries, where he's dealt with multiple injuries, where he seems to get a lot of injuries, or maybe it's just from wear and tear from what he had to do early in his career, similar to Christian McCaffrey. I hope this is a warning. I hope we see Christian McCaffrey get better. I hope he's back earlier than better. He's only a benefit to the league. I hope Anthony Davis keeps doing great things. Now I'm just excited for both of them to come back. And like I said, what do you guys think? You guys are y'all sold on the injury prone thing, or are y'all on my side? Do you think that these guys are more individuals that have had such a great burden on them that they're only human, and they're gonna have to deal with a little bit of adversity here and there, but their star burning so bright is actually more incredible, I believe, because they don't seem to burn. Anthony Davis doesn't seem to have any quitting. Christian McCaffrey seems to come back bigger and better, and then trying to improve himself every year. So I don't know. I think they're in good hands. I think it's gonna be exciting. I hope they come back. I hope you don't think these guys are done. They don't need to retire. I hope my clickbait didn't warn you off too quick. I was just trying to get you in here. No one's watching these videos, man. No one's here at the end. But you enjoy the rest of your day, everything else you got planned, and thank you for joining me. See?